So you clicked on this video because you want some good investment tips on the Donut SMP. Or maybe you just misclicked, I don't judge. Now before I get into the investments, I'm just gonna say that this is the top 5 investments on the Donut SMP. Or at least in my opinion the top 5 bests, which means that there are a few that didn't cut it, and I'm just gonna throw that on screen right now. Oh, wrong slide. Here it is. But first I'm gonna explain a bit more what a good investment option actually is. And it has to fit about 2 criteria. These criteria are how rare it is. First of all, the item has to be pretty rare. For example, a Heart of the Sea. This item can be found in buried treasure chests and nowhere else. Secondly, it can't be a renewable resource, which means, for example, bones, because they can be farmed from skeletons and there is not a specific amount on the server, because there is technically infinite. This does not apply to the Heart of the Sea, making it a great investment option. Now at number 5 we have Pigstep. As we can see here, the Pigstep started at a value at about 730,000 at the start of this month and is currently about 1.6 million, which means that it has about doubled in value over the last month. And as you can see, it looks quite stable. I'm gonna get into this spike again later because it has appeared quite often. Now, does Pigstep actually check off all the criteria? And the answer is yes. The Pigstep is not a renewable resource since it only generates in bastions. Now if we do the math, there's about 8.5 thousand Pigsteps on the entire Donut SMP, which is a very small amount compared to how many people there is on the server, making it a really great option for investing in, also especially because that all of the Pigsteps have been looted because the nether region is so small, making it the only possible way to get your hand on this disc through the AH and trading. Now at number 4 we have the Gilded Blackstone. Now if we look at the auction tracker for Gilded Blackstone, we can see that the value starts at a bit under 100,000 per piece and is currently sitting at almost 1.3 million, which means that over the last month the value have gone up by 1,300%, which is absolutely absurd. Now just speaking of pure numbers, there is about 30 to 100 pieces of this in each bastion, which means that it is about 30 times of the Piglin disc, music disc that I speak about before, even though it goes for the same price. This is because of that base builders often use this as a building block in stashes because of its rarity and because of its look. Also, it's because that this block has been majorly hyped up by different YouTubers, for example Donut, which also does a huge difference in the value of items. For example, Elytra would never be in that value if Donut didn't pump it up all the time. Number 3 is sponges. Now as you can see here, at the start of the month the price was about 25,000 and now it is 140,000, which means that it has grown by about 450% over the last month. Now sponges spawn in the ocean monuments in specific rooms where there is one in each monument with a bunch of sponges, about half a stack. And these monuments are pretty rare, spread across the entire server, but they are very easy to find, which means that almost every monument has been looted, making it also close to impossible to find new sponges. Now the total volume on the Donut SMP is about 1 million sponges, making them a bit less rare than other items like Pigstep and the Gilded Blackstone, but they do get sold in higher amounts and there is more hype about them than there is, for example, Pigstep. Now here I have chosen to put both the 1 and 2 into the same spot, which will be number 1. And those two things are the Elytra and dragon head. Now the reason I've chosen to put them both here is they are very tied together. If we look at it over the last 30 days, we can see here under the Elytra that it has grown from 200,000 or 200 million to about 488 million, which is over 100% growth. Now the reason this is here at number 1 is because it is incredibly stable. This is definitely the most hyped thing on the entire server because everyone invests in it and it's like the ultimate investment. It basically doesn't go down at all. Now the other thing is the dragon head. The reason I have chosen it also to be put here where it usually isn't put is because it is so tied to the Elytra. For every Elytra there will always be one dragon head. They spawn together, making them equally rare. The reason they just are worth less is because Elytra is more hyped and Elytra has the extra function of being able to fly, and that is just the current flex. Also, if we look here, just pure value, it started at the month of about 10 million and it ended at, or it is currently sitting at about 16 million, which means that it has upped the price by 500%, which is really great, especially compared to the Elytra. Now to conclude this, I will say that everybody you have to spare, you should spend it to invest in stuff. Now it doesn't really matter what it is, it just has to follow these criteria I gave. It can be both sponges, pigsteps and tall grass. I would recommend investing in something like Elytras and dragon heads because they are so stable and the other items go a bit ups and downs. But if you don't have the budget, you can also take the other options. Now the thing about investing on the Donut SMP is not like in real life where the stock market goes slightly up on average every year. On Donut SMP there is first of all inflation, which just makes the value of your money go down very quickly, and also every item or all of the investments go up so quickly because of all the new players and other stuff, which I can't forget. To be honest, it's hard remembering stuff that I have to say. I don't want to do too many takes. All right, bye. Now editing me here, a thing I forgot to mention is that just because an item has grown by, for example, 1000% doesn't mean it will necessarily continuously or continue to grow that amount. I'm just saying with that the item have over a long period of time, longer than the 30 days, grown and not falling dramatically, which means that it's very stable, and I'm just trying to show that a bit better with the market tracker of Donut SMP. And it's not particularly proof that it's going to continuously grow that much, because that is not realistic.